Okay, so what we're doing today, we're going to do a little maintenance on the Sequoia. Poor Sequoia has been neglected a little bit here. It's time for some maintenance. I noticed ever since I had this thing, the power steering has never been changed. So this is strikingly similar to a BMW power steering fluid change. It does take ATF. See right there, maybe. And that's not ATF in it. It's like Chevy power steering fluid that's in it, and it's a little low. So what we're gonna do, first of all, we're just gonna loosen the cap up, and so it can get air. The power steering has been getting a little bit weird, a little bit hard to turn at random. I noticed this winter, whenever it was real cold outside, it was acting up, just like a BMW does when it has the wrong fluid in it. Now here's the catch. This thing has 389,000 miles on it. I don't know if that's ever been changed or not. It's very well that it may not have. So we're gonna go ahead and crack it open and get it changed. So for the Sequoia, we didn't crack the bolt loose. Come on, camera. There we go. Crack the bolt loose on the rack and pinion. Now on a BMW, you're gonna crack it loose at the power steering pump on the front of the engine. This thing's set up a little bit different. Come on, camera, what's your problem? Kind of laying under the car all weird and it's picking up too much light. Let's see if we get the auto focus or auto dim or something. There we go. And basically, you're going to want to try to get the lowest point. So this is the lowest point. We're under the rear of the subframe and it's draining out. We'll give it a good 10 minutes. We'll let it all drain out and make sure the reservoir is empty. See what I was talking about here. The reservoir is there. The power steering pump is right on top. It's right here. Where the BMW, it's kind of the lowest point. So we're just going to look in here, make sure it's draining out, which it is. Before we seal that up down there, we'll probably go ahead and put a little fresh transmission fluid in it. Maybe start it up just for a second, even though it's going to spray out the bottom, but I want to try to get as much of that old nasty fluid out as possibly can. Okay, so it stopped draining out here. I put a little fresh ATF. You can see it's red around the lid there. Poured some in the reservoir to let it run through. In case you're probably gonna ask, we're using our Valvoline Max Life ATF. This is the multi-vehicle. This is what we use for the transmissions for the Sequoia and for the BMW and for Hondas and all the import stuff. Those cars take about a quart to replace the transmission fluid. Probably want to have a little more than a quart on hand just in case. We're probably going to have to end up doing this guy twice, because if we don't, it's probably going to be a problem. It's probably going to stay dirty. We want it clean. So it's still running out. It still is running out power steering fluid that was in it. It's not turned red yet from what I put in it. And there's always going to be some of the pump. So once this runs out, it starts running red, we're going to go ahead and tighten this guy back up. And remember, if you have a crush washer on it, make sure and clean that crush washer or replace it, because it could have dirt on it now. All that fluids ran through it. And basically this doesn't have that. This has a little, I don't know what you call it, like a flare fitting on it. When you tighten it back down, it should be good. Just be super careful not to strip anything out, or you will be in serious trouble. We bumped the key a little bit. Didn't actually let it start up. Just kind of turn the engine over just for a second, and now it's running red out of here. We're gonna wait till it stops. We're gonna replace this line in here and make sure it's tight. You do not want to start your car with no fluid in it. It could run the pump. Okay, so here's the old fluid. It's hard to tell in a black container, but it's pretty much super thin and overdue. So we're gonna take some of our Valvoline here. We're gonna refill it before we start it. Ever so carefully. If you're not good with not using a funnel, then use a funnel. Okay, we don't want to overdo it. We'll start right there. We're going to go and start it up, and it should suck it down. Okay, we're up and running. When we first started up, it blurped some out, which is very common when you have air in the system like this has. We have it just a tiny bit above the full mark. We'll go and replace the cap back on it. We'll get inside and rock the wheel back and forth, take it for a short drive, and we should be good. You can actually see that it's red. You probably can't see it, I can see it. It's actually red now at the beside container, it's not all black. Alright, so we're pretty much done here. We're gonna go and get a rag, some carburetor cleaner. We're gonna clean all this up, get all that looking good. We're gonna dispose of our old transmission fluid and probably just pour it back. That one still got some. We'll find an empty container, we'll pour it back in that, and then you can drop it off at, you know, auto parts store or wherever to get rid of it. And project update. I started working on this 05 Civic. And a lot of you guys get pissed at me that, oh, this is a BMW channel, you're showing other cars, we don't like that. Well, it's not BMW.com, it's Nathan's DIY Garage. So you're gonna have other cars on there. Let me two-hand to get this hood open and I'll show you what we're doing with this. And here's this 05 Civic. So these Civics, this one's VTEC. You can see the solenoid right there. It's the same, what is it, LX, I don't remember. Whatever models have the VTEC, the 1.7 liter. 2001, 2005, they're all the same engine. Not all of them, but the VTEC ones are the same engine. Variations of it. This one we got from our friend Daniel. He did the head gasket on it. It was slowly filling up the reservoir. You look at this little dinky reservoir they got, and it's almost impossible to see down in it. He works like 7 hours away from home. He drove it, ran fine around here, took it out on the interstate, and it kept filling up the coolant bottle. So he kept adding to it, and he took it apart up there where he was at. You can hear his thunder getting ready to storm. So I'm trying to hurry up before it starts in. Anyway, he did the head gasket, put it back together. Now we're mixing real hardcore in the radiator, but it's not mixing on the oil dipstick. And I have a friend that does Hondas just like I do BMWs. And he doesn't have a YouTube channel. So, or I'll link it up. Anyway, he said the same thing. He said, these head gaskets, if you're not paying damn close attention, you could flip it over and it'll direct pressure right to that guy. So we're thinking that's what it is. I need to work on this thing today. We're only 18 minutes into it. It's almost all apart. We got to pull the exhaust manifold off, and we're going to leave the intake manifold on. There's 3 bolts that bolts it to the block. Pick the whole thing up. We have just a few hoses to take off. We're thinking an hour total with 18 minutes we already spent. We're going to go ahead and have this thing off of here. That being said, I'm thinking about posting this video on this channel. You guys let me know what you think. It'll be roughly a 20 actual video time, probably 25 minutes. If you guys want to see that, I'll post it on this one, or I could post it on the 3rd channel, Nathan's DIY World. The problem with that channel is you do a lot of work and that channel's not very big. Do a lot of time, a lot of work to put a video up, and it only gets like 60 views. So, you know, I don't know. That's what's going on with this project update. And the $300 X5, I need to send that title off. We have everything to do it with. I just need to do that. It's going to cost $450 to send it off because the guy had the price on it, and he had it dated, so I got to pay the back tax on it. Roughly $200 back tax and $250 for the $3,500 you wrote on the title. So, but whatever, you know, we're still okay. John still wants to buy it. I need to get this going. I need to get the headlights buffed for him. I need to get his door handles on. I need to get the mirror on and put some more miles on it and make sure it's going to be okay. So that's all for today's video, guys. Quit babbling on and on and on. Let me know if you want to see the videos up with this car. It'll only be one video. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.